Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. So I'm not sure if this is going to come as a surprise to you, but the market has been absolutely insane lately. One of the reasons why we have a lot of these metrics, and one of these metrics is actually lightly more important than some of the other ones that we usually go over, is the amount of Bitcoin left on crypto exchanges. So I mean, it's all encompassing, if you will, as far as the amount. Here we go. The amount of Bitcoin there could or will be in the future, the amount that we currently have, the amount that's lost and gone forever, the amount that's being accumulated per day. It is now, depending on when you're looking at the actual numbers, it is penduluming between 10 to 13 times what's currently being mined. Plus, that is to say, a lot of the news that we've been getting, you've noticed, has roughly mainly nearly focused on BlackRock. It's because they're BlackRock. Part of the issue actually lies in the fact that there are other people and entities and corporations and banks and governments who are also accumulating large amounts of Bitcoin as well. However, when you get the news that one company has over 200,000, and this has been two and a half months or something like that at this point, of course, it makes a lot more news. So you'll hear a lot of times, you've heard quite recently, that BlackRock alone is accumulating 10 to 13 times the amount of Bitcoin that's actually being mined per day. Of course, this number is far higher when you then add in the other ETF issuers and other corporations and banks in the actual fray as well. The other metric that usually, I almost said like tantalizes people, I'm not sure if that's the word for it at all, that people tend to pay attention to in the immediate is actually how many coins are on a cryptocurrency exchange. So we tend to see historically that whenever there is a rise in price during a bull run, and then subsequently when the fall begins to happen anywhere between 16, 17, 18 months after the halving has taken place, what then happens is people begin to panic and they throw their coins back onto cryptocurrency exchanges. I'm not sure what this is, but it's me throwing something back onto cryptocurrency exchanges with the expectation that if prices continue to fall, I will sell my coins. That's the general idea. For some reason, the inverse actually happens as prices are going up. No one can really explain why. A lot of people believe it has to do with like whale behavior, in that if the whales have a lot of coins and they're not expected to sell their coins, they want the coins off of crypto exchanges so that there's actually less coins on the crypto exchanges, so that prices rise a lot higher as other people are buying the coins that they could have bought that are no longer there because they are now in possession for the whales. I think that definitely made sense. The situation that we currently have is that we are currently in one of those things right now. There's a company called CryptoQuant, and they said that since 2020, so even after we had the fall, the rise, and then the subsequent fall again, the amount of crypto, rather in this case Bitcoin, on crypto exchanges has actually plummeted. And I mean, we can heavily attribute that once again to a lot of the ETF news, simply because it just tends to make the most sense. If we hear that these companies own hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin and have been buying over the last couple of months, of course they're getting it from somewhere. And usually a lot of times, depends on if they're buying it from Coinbase or if they're buying it over the counter. It's coming from a cryptocurrency exchange, and the amount of coins on that exchange is also going to start dropping down as well. But they said that the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges they used the word plunged, has plunged by almost 40% over the course of the last 2 years. It says historically the movement of assets off of exchanges points to a general bullish sentiment in the market, while an inflow to exchanges shows a bearish sentiment as well. We had that problem a number of years ago where a lot of people who were in the market figured out very quick, and it's a really odd way of market manipulation, that is apparently completely legal because it happens across all markets in different forms and fashions, where people were literally just putting their Bitcoin onto a crypto exchange with no intention of selling it. Imagine you had 50,000 Bitcoin and you threw it onto an exchange. It scares the heck out of people because they assume the person who put it on there is getting ready to sell it. Why else would you have it on a crypto exchange? The prices would fall, and we would see, and constantly had news, and we still have this kind of news, that a lot of it was then bought up. A lot of the Bitcoin, as the prices were falling, it kind of like stabilizes at a certain point and then begins to go back up. And the person who put that 50,000 Bitcoin on there would then take it back off of the exchange again. Really weird. It's the way that the market kind of works. It also has to do with the idea that I've all been telling you before, which we're not going to get into in this video. Rich people are hungry for Bitcoin. I understand that. I know a lot of times, I'll put it to you this way. I know I'm quite intense. My friends, they tell me this all the time. When I have like a huge amount of conviction for something, or like I really understand something, this is usually when I talk about it, if that makes any sense. So seeing that all these years have been going by, and we've seen Bitcoin together, me and you, at 4 digits before, and we see that the only deterrent in that situation is basically against normal everyday people who are selling their coins out of fear or whatever might be going on in their lives at that moment. And then to hear that these whales are consistently buying, there's that they're calling it the Mr. 100 wallet. You can Google it and find it. They're literally wallets that are coming online all the time. And there's one wallet in particular who's buying over 100 Bitcoin every day. And I mean, that ranges anywhere from like 100 to like 900 Bitcoin daily, every single day. So when we hear all this stuff going on and we see the prices are also rising and we see that the coins are going off of crypto exchanges, this is why I've been screaming for all these years, hoping that someone was paying attention and someone was going to actually get it, because this is literally only the beginning. We have this misconception, I believe, having been in the space, or rather the space has been around for 15 years. And I think when people hear 15, they go, okay, well, the market's old. And it's like, no, we are just at the very beginning of where all of this is going to go. We have not gotten to a 6-figure Bitcoin. We haven't gotten to the $1 million Bitcoin yet. And then it's only going to continue from there. So every time that these moments happen, these situations take place, where people are selling off their coins, I make sure to try and like slide on in. So I'm like, hey, maybe you shouldn't. I can't and will never tell you what to do with your money, but gosh darn it, I'll definitely put it out there like, hey, maybe rethink, because there's a reason why you're so afraid. There's a reason why this news keeps coming out. There's a reason why all these new YouTubers or old YouTubers are coming back, telling you to be afraid of the market whenever there's like a 1% dip, and to tell you, it's absolute nonsense. You're basically selling all of your coins at this point to BlackRock. There's no real way around saying any of that. So yes, the amount of Bitcoin on crypto exchanges continues to drop. It's being bought up. It's being taken off. A lot of wealthy people that we've heard from over the course of the last couple of months have been telling us, and they assume that Bitcoin during this cycle is going anywhere from $250,000 to $600,000. They're taking it off of exchanges. They want to protect their money in some sort of way. The people from Crypto Quant said, and I do quote, "More Bitcoin is being bought and held than is being mined. And this has been a prevailing trend since 2020. As we know, with commodities, scarcity boosts the value. The new trend suggests that we won't see a pronounced rise in crypto on the exchanges towards the end of the cycle." That also goes into the idea that people think that this will be a never-ending cycle. We've never had a situation before where the people who are controlling the market are the institutions. The idea being, final thought, if the prices go down, as we've seen over the last couple of weeks, if prices go down, we typically, if you haven't been here for other cycles, a downward movement in the market may persist for around 2 to 3 weeks. What we see now is around 2 to 3 days. That's because if you sell your coins, well, an institution is going to buy it up. And if they see that that other institution bought it, if we are getting the news that over the course of a dip, that any given company bought 14,000 Bitcoin the day after that dip, well, every other company is going to start to do the exact same thing. Now, what happens when no company's selling? What happens when no individuals are selling? And there's still tons of people who are trying to buy. The price rises. There's barely any dips. And if there are dips, they're short-lived. And the price continues going back up as more people take their cryptocurrencies off of the exchanges as well. Therefore, the idea is that we may have witnessed the end of the previous cycles. And we may be onto something absolutely, completely different. Very interesting time, as I always say, to be in the market simply because we've never experienced this before. I was chatting with a friend yesterday. We were walking around and we were like, as always, discussing the market. But the main topic that came up was like, we're not at the halving. How high are prices going to go this year? How high are they going to go next year? How high are they going to be at the next halving? And there's all these questions that I have, and I have a feeling they will definitely be answered very soon. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.